Be sure to subscribe to our Solutionaries channel. We're just getting started.
From Uvalde to Buffalo to Highland Park, the recent mass shooters had something in common. They'd all shown red flags before their killing sprees.
The 18-year-old was taken into custody last year for threatening to shoot up his high school.
The suspect apparently tried to take his own life with a machete in 2019, threatened to kill others that same year.
He would hurt animals. He was not a good person.
These are warning signs that authorities must get better at recognizing. States across the country are passing red flag laws, and Florida is ahead of the curve with more cases than anywhere else, starting this right after the Parkland school shooting in 2018.
You want to make sure that you're not interfering with these rights cavalierly.
Florida statutes now allow law enforcement to file a petition called a risk protection order to take away firearms from people who present a clear and present danger to themselves or others. Mark Mahan is the chief judge for the 4th Judicial Circuit. We sat in on one of his hearings where he'll decide whether this man should have access to guns.
After they're done, I'll give you an opportunity to make any statement or present any witnesses that you want to.
We are not showing this man's face because he is not criminally charged. This is a civil case, but Jacksonville sheriff's officers testify that they responded to his home and he was talking about death, bodies, and then he threatened to shoot them.
Officer Perry told him as soon as we get out of the car, and that's when he pointed at me and he said, "Sorry for the shot at that time."
The man did not dispute the officer's statements and said he'd been suffering from PTSD and depression. Judge Mahan decided it was best he go at least a year without firearms.
But do you have somebody giving you some help? Do you have access to some help?
Yes, sir.
Is this a good way to stop the next active shooter?
Well, right now, I think it's one of the best tools that we have.
If the subject violates the order, they'll be arrested.
I usually tell the people at the end of the hearing, if I'm granting the injunction, they're doing this not only for other people, but maybe even for yourself. And I think with that discussion, they realize that I'm really not trying to do this as the enemy or trying to hurt them.
We looked at court records to find out about other cases. This one shows a man who said, "I am just giving you corrupt cops a warning. I will shoot. Expect people to die here." Police later found 6 long guns at his house. In another instance, a city employee threatened his coworkers, saying, "I'll come in here and shoot this place up. I'll go after their families too." Another document shows a woman who went into a hospital emergency room with a gun in a backpack and a drum full of ammunition, claiming she was going to show everyone how crazy she was. Police arrested all 3 of these subjects after finding out that they violated the orders and got guns even when they were not allowed to. Since Florida's legislators approved the red flag laws in 2018, judges across the state have taken up 8,900 RPO cases. Judges have granted the orders in almost all of those, more than 8,750 RPOs to date. Duval County, Jacksonville, has had 266 RPOs granted so far.
Do you believe in what you're doing?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe that you could be stopping the next mass shooting?
I believe we can, yes.
Lieutenant Ron Bilyeu runs a special unit at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office where detectives work red flag cases.
What we do is we look at their background. Do they have any mental health issues, other violence, domestic within the last 12 months, things of that issue. And we can also additionally interview family and neighbors or other people who may have witnessed potential violence or use of a firearm in a threatening manner.
Investigators build evidence and then bring that before a judge. And if the order is granted, JSO will remove the firearms from someone's home, either leaving them with a friend or a family member or storing them until the RPO expires.
Look, you and I both know about the Second Amendment, and so many people don't want police officers to come in and take their guns away. Is that difficult?
It's a judicial process. We just don't go to people's houses. If somebody complains that their neighbor's got guns and they're always yelling at me about my garbage or something like that, we're not going to get involved with that.
But not everyone sees these red flag laws as fair.
They were a system and a process designed to make law enforcement's job easier at the loss of civil rights for the citizens of Florida. And it was wrong. It was an abuse of our civil rights, and they need to go away.
Eric Friday is a constitutional attorney who fights for gun rights. He says Florida's laws are quite simply unconstitutional.
It is the only civil right that you can be deprived of without having a right to an attorney.
He says the majority of RPOs come from a small number of counties with aggressive sheriffs and judges. We checked. Court records show Polk County has brought forth nearly 1,500 cases, nearby Hillsborough and Pinellas counties with about 1,200 apiece. Those three counties make up more than 40% of cases statewide.
If a person is that big a danger to themselves or others due to their mental health or mental stability, they need to be taken to a receiving facility. They need to be evaluated by a doctor, not a police officer. And that person can petition the court that this person needs to be committed, which puts them on the no purchase list federally, or this person is not a danger to themselves or others. The law enforcement officer made a mistake, and this person can be released.
I only look at my small part of it, which is at this point not ongoing for treatment for this individual, but let's get the gun and let's get the firearm. Let's get the danger out of the situation, and then hope that there's some other avenues where they can get treatment and help.
Red flag laws, divisive to many. Do you think this is a viable solution? Leave us a comment below and remember to subscribe and share with a friend.